folks. Trisha Curtis, CEO of Petroleum and host of the Petroleum Podcast. I have been in Washington, D.C., your nation's capital, for a couple days, and I have had a series of meetings. And today is September 4th, 2025. It has been a very intense week. We are looking at oil prices at $63 a barrel and change, and that is really actually quite surprising given what we've seen going on with Russia and Ukraine, and given what we've seen actually going on with Russia meeting with China, or Putin meeting in China, Kim Jong-un from North Korea, Iran, and Narendra Modi, the leader of India, all meeting in China this weekend, and then having the big military parade yesterday. So what was really interesting about all that is that Trump hosted the Polish Prime Minister yesterday. There was two fighter jet flyovers, which were really cool. And people said, well, this was for the Polish Prime Minister, and it was actually probably because, China was hosting this huge military parade where they had Putin and Modi and Iran and Kim Jong-un also in presence of this big military parade. So and a lot of nefarious actors in terms of that multiple parties coming together. Not saying that India is nefarious, but the point is that India is doubling down on their purchases of Russian crude. And it actually came out this weekend that India has been purchasing, in the month of August, they were purchasing no Saudi crude and no Iraqi crude. And it was all coming from Russia. So well more than 2 million barrels per day. So a lot going on that front. And I think that oil prices are definitely still underpriced given the volatility that we're potentially going to see in having to sanction Russian barrels and everything that's going on that front. Certainly the war in Ukraine is revving up. It's not revving down. And sanctions on Russia are going to have to be implemented. So a lot going on with that, folks. Had some incredible meetings here in D.C. talking about this report and this forecast paper I did on U.S. shale that I did with the Peterson Foundation, and had a lot of meetings with Congressional Budget Office, with American Petroleum Institute, with folks on the Hill. So we'll fill you in on a lot of that within the podcast, but thank you guys so much for listening. The latest Petronas podcast with Matt Gallagher and Bud Brigham is an absolute showstopper, folks. This is soup to nuts what's going on in the space, updating you on everything happening in the market. Can't wait for you guys to listen, hear the reviews. They've been phenomenal so far, but I'll talk to you soon, folks. Bye.